Signal station, line arrays. Signal station makes use of the network of arrays across the fast spindle. Signalizing them is specialist work. Interpret signals. Signal station searches for signals in the fast spindle's local region. Sorting them is too much work for just the crew. Shift only vouched for members can gamble on the venture, but bar shifts are easy to come by, mostly because they pay in tips and little more. Gauge. Gambler's friend. If you want to gamble in the Beltborn venture, you'll need a member's backing. Perhaps after enough shifts, you'll find a sponsor. Wo wollten wir hin? Dahin. Hier, Fuel. Cakes. Getting wrecked. Freelancers of the fast spindle seem cagey, but spend enough time at the local bar and they'll warm to you. Wreck is a seaweed-based liquor with a powerful saline taste. Gaius Jaya has a reputation for serving it neat and strong. The far spindle lives up to its name, its tall stature making it a real effort to travel from end to end. The local solution to this problem are the transit tunnels, massive tubes bolted into the outside of the spindle that allow for rapid passage from bottom to top. As you find yourself in one of these cavernous passages, bulky cargo haulers rushing by, you start to wonder if braving them is worth the effort. Back up! Shout rattles down the bare transit corridor like a gunshot and is rapidly followed by a crunching impact. You spin back, pushing yourself against the side of the wide cylindrical passage. As you do, a hauler glides past, sending a rippling wave of air across you in its wake. When the roar subsides, you hear a string of expletives coming from nearby. A spiky-looking figure clutching some oddly shaped open-frame object gestures wildly at the vehicle as it glides away. Dickhead! She spits an impressive glob of saliva down the tunnel, and it spirals in zero-G. She turns to you in her anger. You see that? Try to slam me into the wall. Oh, dickhead. She nods firmly. No shit, haulers hate us. She sniffs and looks you up and down. Not supposed to be in the transit system without a vehicle. She squints. Not like I care, but maybe you do. What about you? She shakes the open frame in her hand. What does this look like to you? She rolls one of her shoulders, stretching it out. You're new here, right? Yes. She shrugs sympathetically. Figures. Let me give you a tip. She begins checking her open frame vehicle, tightening bolts and untangling pipes. Avoid the haulers. Dickheads, the lot of them. Especially water haulers. Think they're better than anyone. Don't mess with the stevedores, though. They're good people. Get treated like shit by everyone else, just like us. She rapidly plugs and unplugs a series of connectors. They show you the shortcuts. She looks up. And never ever get in a spindlejack's way. She smiles, spinning the vehicle in her hand. Spindlejack? She thumps her chest. You're looking at one. She pauses, considering something. Then suddenly she reaches into one of her many pockets and pulls out a small transparent rectangle punched with holes. Text glints within it, reading Cadet, Stripline Express. You take it. Cadet. She flexes proudly. That's me. Stripline is my outfit. Kamal's the dispatcher. Small outfit, but we punch above our weight. Dispatcher's here in the spindle's core, but I run the transit tunnels up and down the spindle 10 times a cycle. You need anything moving on the spindle? Data, tech, messages to hotwire the hardline, come find me. I'll do that. She nods. Tell them I sent you. They'll take sure it gets to me. She kicks off the wall and mounts bike, triggering a small burst of compressed air to keep herself steady in the transit passage. You hear a buzz of distorted speech from what you assume is her dispatcher. Cadet angles her head to her communicator and mutters back into it. Gotta hop, sleeper. She looks over at you and something flickers in her eyes. An idea? Or perhaps just a realization. You might be able to help me with something. Package that's been bothering me. She squints down the passage. Come to the office at Stripline in a few cycles and I'll show you. Sure. Well, call it a favor on account of me saving you from being flattened by a hauler. She winks. I better get out of here before another hauler tries to squish you. You step back as she twists the handlebars, and a burst of air sends her flying down the transit corridor at an unsettling speed. You watch her go, slightly caught off guard by her final remarks. What would a courier need you for? You turn the idea over in your head as you find a way out of the transit corridor back to the safety of the main concourse. Cadet's complication. Cadet mentioned needing help with something, but you're still at a loss to know what the courier might want. Gehen wir mal da weiter. Healing gate hangs over the rig. Its corroded arcs resemble the dislocated vertebrae of some vast, long-dead serpent. That's one big, ugly scrap pile. Seraphim whistles from the pilot seat. Solheim didn't like to build them small. What was it for? Seraphim shakes his head. System's biggest door. Only opened if you asked nicely. Gotta be big if you want to fit every ship that visits the system through it. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Impressive, really, building something so massive out here. Mal bisschen leiser. Solheim like to impress visitors, sure. Seraphim leans forward, looking for the best place to enter the structure. But they also like to scan entire ships and impound those that didn't enter through the gate. Seraphim catches your eye, looking for some agreement. Not the most admirable qualities. Solheim was a curse on the system. Seraphim not better off without them. That's for sure. I agree, but without them, the system would be two gas giants and a load of rocks. No harm in recognizing it. Look out of the cockpit towards the gate. Its layers of systems and rooms slowly opening to the void, peeling away cycle after cycle to reveal the bones beneath. This is where Jean-Mi mentioned you might be able to find the location of a ship with a prime ship mind. Among the old shipping manifests and Solheim records, you look over the towering structure of the gate. This is going to take some work. Suddenly a flash high up on the gate catches your eye. A light turning on and off again for a moment. You lose track of it. Is this place inhabited? Seraphim raises an eyebrow. I doubt it. He winks and smiles. You hoping for a station-side bar? I have a feeling you'll be disappointed unless we find an executive's old liquor cabinet. Bliss pats you on the shoulder and drifts out of the cockpit. Time to see what secrets the gate has left. Solheim records. Idle mines identifying a ship with a viable ship mind means pouring through the records of Solheim's shipping lanes. Power up the archive. One way to get the data you need from the archive is to power up the whole machinery of it, a daunting engineering task. Extract the records slower than turning on the entire archive. Selectively extracting records is the safe and slower method to get what you need. Customs hall within a gate. Once the main checkpoint for entry into the entire Helion system. The Helion gate lies dark and broken, but it is not without its secrets. Explore the corridors. Dark corridors lead off into the abandoned facility. With no map and no one to guide you, picking a direction and following it is the only option. Scan the hall. Once a bustling entry point, the customs hall was abandoned after the collapse. With some careful analysis, you can find what was left behind. Scavenge fuel. The shattered, jagged old barge once carried a fleet's worth of fuel. With care and time, you may be able to scavenge some of it for your ship. So viel. Soll ich das Endure braucht? A mess of confiscated cargo stretches off into the darkness. The sight instills some fear, but perhaps there's still something here, yet to be picked clean. In the dark and airless void of the archives, something flickers. You've been working in the dark, picking through the guts of corroded machines, skimming the data in their corrupt memories, digging through a graveyard in search of ghosts. But now, with another flicker, the place begins to come back to life. All along the rows of benches, some of them crushed by fallen ceiling panels, terminals begin to flicker into uneasy life. A cacophony of distorted sounds accompany the machines as some of them immediately glitch and spark. Did you do this? You stand frozen as the archive glitters around you with a million shipping entries. The stream of information is overwhelming. Node graphs drawing out routes and inventories tracing a web around you in pale cyan. Suddenly they all shut off. Terminals blinking out together, leaving a single translucent screen glowing softly in the dim room. And in that dim room, drifting towards you out of the dark, you see a figure. Is this what you're looking for? The voice crackles aggressively through your suit's local comms. Who are you? Sleeper. You recognize Junie's voice now, tense and sharp. I should have expected to find you gutting a Solheim archive. She stops beside the single online terminal, her suited form silhouetted in pale light. What are you doing here? Same as you, although I'm not going about it quite as forcefully. She folds her arms. Do you have any idea of the damage you've been doing to this archive? Her voice cracks in anger. These machines are decades old. You can't just rifle through them like they were a scrap pile. There's data here that has been lost for decades, and here you're corrupting whole chains of it. What do you think you're doing? I need something. Yes, I know. She shakes her head. I saw the pattern of your queries. A prime ship mind equipped ship, still operational at the collapse, last located in the region around Helion Gate. You can feel how pleased she is with herself from here. Junie softens a little, her curiosity getting the better of her. What are you doing looking for prime ship mind? Explain about your body. You tell her what Jean-Mi told you about your shifting body transformed by some unknown influence. about the need for a prime ship mind to house your emulated mind while he runs a diagnostic process. She's silent for a moment, unsure how to respond. I'm sorry, Sleeper, she sighs, but I can't trust you right now, no matter your excuse. I know when we met, I tried to trick you, to force you to help me, and that was a mistake. She shifts position a little, moving closer to the lone terminal that remains on. But after what you did, you have to help me. You owe me. She indicates the terminal and you move a little closer. You can see the screen showing a single bright point, coordinates. You check the info pane beside the map, the Solheim ship. Prime ship mind in use, abandoned by all hands after the collapse, tantalizingly in reach. So how about we make this mutual? If you want this ship, you have to promise to take me with you to see it. Her finger hovers over the terminal's keyboard. If you won't, well, the data gets deleted. Juni smiles. You realize she has you, you need that ship mind. You have no choice. Fine. I thought you might say that. She softens a little. Do this and then we are even. But she eyes you. Leave without me and you will never see me again. Was meint ihr überhaupt even? Habe ich dir irgendwas getan? Ich habe dir doch das komische Ding gegeben letztes Mal. Send you the coordinates to your ship. See you out there. She nods and turns away. With that, you leave her in the archive, extracting data as you ascend back to Helium Gate's upper levels. Gate structure. Cutaway scrap. Most of the gate is corroded beyond use. But deep in the structure you can still find good metal. Wieder endure. Data scraping. Gates networks collapsed long ago, but there's data to be found in the old terminals and servers inside the structure. Solheim data, okay. ich bin fast am Überlegen, ob man den Run über den Haufen werfen, einfach warten, schauen, was passiert, wenn das voll ist und dann einfach ja, vielleicht nochmal neu anfangen mit einem anderen Charakter, weil ich find's ein bisschen heftig, dass so viel von diesem Endure-Zeug abhängt. Dass so viel davon irgendwie beeinflusst wird. Ja, einfach. Warten wir einfach mal, was passiert. Weil großartig, ich meine, ich würde vielleicht noch wegkommen hier, aber ja, so wirklich irgendwie großartig was hinbekommen oder so. The egg behind your eye has been growing cycle on cycle. It burns there quietly. You've tried to ignore it, to blink it away, but there's no change. In this cycle, it burns white hot. Oh, the trouble you have caused. This is the familiar voice, my little runaway. Lane is here, speaking into your mind once more, but stronger, brighter. So present that you would look around the room to find his voice if you could open your eyes. But you can't. The pain is holding them shut. The belt is wider than I thought, and a little worm like you slips so easily between the cracks. That last word hisses and elongates in your mind, but I have my little back door into your head. Sharp chuckle, and the signal is getting stronger every cycle. So now's the time to come home, sleeper. Lane's voice pops and hisses. Your pointless struggle is over. Cannot resist. Hear a tone change, ratcheting up of the pitch of the hum in your mind. For a moment, you want to tear your own head open to pull Lane out. So sharp and immediate is the pain. For a moment, the world is black behind your eyes. For a moment, everything is gone but that voice. Then it stops. In the dark afterwards, you feel your systems struggling to continue, the errors mounting, the processes looping and failing. I'm here to collect you. A smile as wide as the void you float within. Probieren wir es mal. Neutral, okay. You gather your strength, your frame creaking with the effort. You falter, the dark vast and constant. The fingers on your skull Again you try. You knit your brow and project a wall, a force, a rejection. You force your eyes open, your head swimming, blind spots flickering across your vision. Sleeper? The voice is distant, but approaching. You feel sick, your head aches, your eyes flutter, and the despair crowds around you like the dark. Sleeper, what's happening? Seraphin's face draws closer. He turns and he speaks to someone nearby. I've seen this before. He peers into your eyes, a desperate look on his face. It's Lane. Everything goes dark and you give in to it. It swallows you like the ocean. Strange dreams drift through your mind. Flickering screens overlaid with noise and scaffolding. Angular objects turning in the void. Long white fingers searching your skull for seams. A sudden jerk and a blaring alarm brings you to your senses. You're in your berth on the rig, spinning slightly from the sudden move that just sent you slamming into a wall. You flinch as a painful pattern of spasms run through your body, the sign that your system is struggling. Bliss suddenly appears in the doorway, looking rushed. You're awake? They glance along the corridor towards the cockpit. Seraphin is making a real mess of the docking routine. They shake their head. What happened with Lane? We slipped away. Bliss sighs. When Seraphin saw you go down, he knew we had to make a move. They shrugged. It was a good call. Seraphin got us all the way to Wellspring, burning hard the entire time. They hugged themselves. The hope is that we are too far out of Lane's reach for him to catch us. He's been acting screwy the whole time, though. They shrug. Maybe seeing you back up again will calm him down. How about you go check in? Bliss helps you up, and you leave them in the berths as you glide to the cockpit, moving slowly. Your head aches, and your body is still spasming from Lane's attempted invasion of your system. Thinking about how it felt makes you shudder, so you push it to the back of your mind. Recovery is going to take a little time. Don't scare us like that again. Seraphin turns in a seat as you enter, then returns to his final docking checks. I thought Lane had ended you. You're slightly taken aback by his bluntness. You guess this is what Bliss meant about Seraphin's behavior. You okay there? Just fine, Sleeper. He keeps his eyes on the monitors. I get Bliss to look at the lateral thrust control. It's a little sticky. That's not what I meant. I mean, Seraphin doesn't respond, but you see him grip the rig's controls a little tighter. As the ship stops, the docking bridge connected, you lean forward and look out of the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. The harsh gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut. The asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along the horizon, you see the terraces of the pithead, where the current extraction effort must be taking place. Seraphin runs the shutdown sequence and unclips from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I'm going to head down into the cut. I've got a few leads to follow up on. You get the sense he isn't asking for permission. Fine by me. He nods, grunts, and glides out of the cockpit. You turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something? Bliss shoots you a look. He seems even more irritable than usual. He's looking for his sister. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Family trouble? That'll explain the irritation levels. I would recommend they zip up the jacket. We go after him before he pushes past someone that pushes back. Let's leave him to it. Fine, but we're going to need a pilot if you ever want to leave this place. Let's hope he's feeling sensible. Looks like a stopover at Wellspring for a bit then. They said the check-it. I'll be in the markets. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lotic Syndicate. Bliss shrugs. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. You sigh. Without a pilot, it doesn't look like you'll be moving on soon. Time to go see Wellspring. Okay. Okay. Okay, ich überlege mir mal bis nächstes Mal, ob ich nochmal neu anfange. Mit einem anderen Charakter. Oder ob wir es doch versuchen weiterzumachen. Hm. Ja, ich überleg's mir mal.